Ever wondered why the Atlantic Ocean seems to be cooking up more storms these days? Well, it's because it's getting warmer, and that's a key ingredient for hurricanes. Picture the Atlantic as a giant pot of water on a stove. As the heat turns up, the water gets warmer and it starts to bubble and boil, just like a storm brewing in the ocean. Now, the Atlantic isn't literally boiling, of course, but it is warmer than it's ever been. These warm waters are the perfect breeding grounds for hurricanes. They feed off this heat, growing larger, stronger, and more destructive. But how much warmer is the Atlantic now compared to, say, 50 years ago? Or even a decade ago? You might be surprised by the answer. The increase may seem slight when you look at the numbers, but even a small uptick in ocean temperatures can have a significant impact on hurricane development and intensity. So, as our planet continues to warm, we're seeing the Atlantic heat up too. And this, in turn, is leading to more frequent and intense hurricanes. It's a worrying trend that underscores the urgent need for action on climate change. So, it's clear that the hotter Atlantic is a hotbed for hurricanes. But how exactly do these storms form? Hurricanes don't just form out of thin air. They need specific conditions. Let's break down these ingredients. First, a hurricane requires warm ocean waters, ideally above 26 degrees Celsius or around 78 degrees Fahrenheit. This warmth provides the energy needed to power these giant storms. As the ocean water evaporates, it rises into the air, creating a low-pressure area below it. Second, we need moist air. Moisture acts as the fuel for hurricanes by allowing the formation of thunderstorms, which are the building blocks of hurricanes. The warm, moist air rises and condenses, releasing heat and helping the hurricane to grow. Third, hurricanes need a certain wind pattern. In the early stages, hurricanes prefer light winds. But as they grow, they can withstand and, in fact, need stronger winds to maintain their circular structure. Lastly, they need a distance from the equator. Hurricanes can't form too close to the equator because they need the Earth's rotation, or the Coriolis effect, to help them spin. The closer to the equator, the less Coriolis effect, and thus, the less spin. Now remember our warm Atlantic? As our oceans heat up due to climate change, they provide more of that crucial warm water, potentially leading to stronger hurricanes. Now that we know how hurricanes form, let's see how their intensity and frequency have changed over time. Are hurricanes becoming more intense and frequent? Let's dive into the history of these storms. To understand the current state of hurricanes, we must first look back at the patterns of these natural disasters over the decades. Historically, there have been periods of high and low hurricane activity. However, since the mid-20th century, we've seen a noticeable increase in the frequency and intensity of these storms. Scientific studies, such as those by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, have shown that the number of Category 4 and 5 hurricanes has nearly doubled since the 1970s. This upward trend isn't just about numbers. The power and destructiveness of hurricanes have also escalated. The total energy output of these storms, measured by a metric known as accumulated cyclone energy, has also been on the rise. What's more, hurricanes are retaining their strength for longer periods even after making landfall. This phenomenon, known as the brown ocean effect, was almost unheard of a few decades ago but has become increasingly common in recent years. So, the evidence is clear. Over the past few decades, hurricanes have not only become more frequent, but they've also grown in intensity. And this trend shows no signs of slowing down. Indeed, hurricanes have been getting stronger. But what role does climate change play in this? Climate change isn't just about hotter summers and melting ice caps. It's also stirring up bigger, meaner hurricanes. Now, you may be wondering, what's the connection? Well, hurricanes draw their energy from the warmth of the ocean. When the ocean surface heats up, it's like adding fuel to the fire, or in this case, the hurricane. The warmer the water, the more intense a hurricane can potentially become. This is because warm water evaporates faster, and as it does, it pumps more energy and moisture into the storm. But there's more to it than just temperature. Global warming is also causing sea levels to rise. When a hurricane makes landfall, higher sea levels mean bigger storm surges. A storm surge is a rise in sea level that happens when a storm pushes water towards the shore. Higher sea levels mean these surges can reach further inland, causing more flooding and destruction. Then there's the issue of rainfall. As the earth warms, the atmosphere can hold more moisture. This means when a hurricane forms, it has more water to dump as rain. Studies have shown that climate change is making hurricanes wetter, leading to more severe flooding when they hit land. And lastly, some research suggests that climate change could be slowing hurricanes down. This might sound like good news, but it's not. When hurricanes move more slowly, they have more time to cause destruction. They also have more time to dump rain, leading to even worse flooding. So, climate change is fanning the flames of hurricane activity. It's making the oceans warmer, raising sea levels, increasing rainfall, and possibly even slowing hurricanes down. All of these factors combine to make hurricanes more destructive than they would otherwise be. What does this mean for the 2024 hurricane season? Well, we'll delve into that in the next section. With climate change in the mix, what can we expect from the 2024 hurricane season? Well, experts are predicting the warmer Atlantic waters could stir up some potent brews. According to top meteorologists and climate scientists, the rising ocean temperatures are likely to fuel more intense hurricanes in 2024 and beyond. One may ask, what does more intense mean? It signifies that we could see hurricanes reaching Category 3, 4, or even 5 more frequently. These storms have higher wind speeds, produce more rainfall, and cause more damage. Another key factor to consider is the speed of these hurricanes. Recent studies suggest that slower-moving storms are becoming more common. This means that when a hurricane makes landfall, it lingers for longer, causing more destruction and dumping more rain on affected areas. Also, it's worth noting that the hurricane season might start earlier and last longer. Traditionally, the Atlantic hurricane season runs from June through November. However, warmer waters could potentially extend this period, meaning we could see hurricanes forming earlier in the spring and later into the winter. So, there you have it. The 2024 hurricane season could bring more intense, slower, and longer-lasting storms. It's a sobering forecast, no doubt. So we could see more intense storms this year, but that doesn't mean we're helpless. We'll discuss how we can prepare and adapt now. In the face of stronger storms, how can we prepare better? What can we all do to adapt? As storms grow stronger and more frequent, we must adapt and prepare. It's crucial to have an emergency kit ready with food, water, medications, and important documents. Knowing your evacuation route and having a plan in place can make a world of difference. But it's not just about individual preparedness. Communities are coming together to build resilience. Whether it's through constructing storm-resistant infrastructure, restoring natural barriers like mangroves and coral reefs, or implementing early warning systems, these initiatives are making a difference. And while we adapt, we must also remember to reduce our carbon footprints. Every bit of effort counts in slowing down the climate change that's fueling these storms. Adapting a plant-based diet is an easy and effective way to reduce your carbon footprint. Preparation and adaptation are key in these changing times. But we also need to listen to what our planet is telling us. Our planet is speaking to us through these storms. It's time to listen and act. We've explored the warm Atlantic, the formation of hurricanes, the historical context, the role of climate change, and what the 2024 season might hold. As we brace for the future, remember, understanding and responding to these changes is crucial. It's up to us to adapt and prepare. Thank you for watching. Please share this video along with your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more insightful content.